Hi everyone, CJ here. I promised to do a reading on the inauguration. Inauguration is coming up this Wednesday, and I just want to see what the energies were around that. I promised y'all I wouldn't be political anymore, and I won't. I'm in a better place this week. I'm in a place of acceptance of, I don't know, being able to see things from a higher perspective. So, whatever happens, happens. But, yeah, I just had to get my, I don't know, work through my stuff. You know what I mean? So I'm sure y'all have been there before. All right, so I'm just gonna lay out the cards. Let me see if I can orient them the right way again. It's saying I can't zoom in anymore, so I don't know why that is, but yeah, this is as close as I can get. So what I'll do is I'll raise them up every time I come across one, and that way y'all can see close up what they look like. So, all right. Yeah, so today is Sunday, the day that I'm making this video. Hopefully I'll be able to get this out onto my channel. Or no, today's Saturday. Excuse me. Today is Saturday, the 16th. So hopefully I'll be able to get this out on tomorrow, which is Sunday, the 17th. I'm trying to think of, astrologically, there was something going on tomorrow, and I can't remember. Oh yeah, Jupiter is square, Jupiter square Uranus. Okay, so tomorrow Jupiter square Uranus. So this, I've heard different interpretations of this. Some people are saying, you know, that that's gonna be an expansion of, I don't know, almost like it's like a, kind of a competitive thing where, I don't know how to describe it, but or some people have said that it's kind of like a higher consciousness kind of thing, which I could see that. Uranus is kind of the higher mind, and Jupiter is expansive. And then, but here's my take on the whole thing. It could also be, you know, Uranus is rebelliousness and revolution sometimes, and also the unexpected. So, you know, Jupiter can expand all that as well. So I just know that there's been talks of, you know, people storming capitals tomorrow nationwide, and so that could, you know, that could be foretelling something to that nature as well. So we'll see what happens. And then Wednesday, of course, the day of the inauguration, I believe is the day that Mars and Uranus are together in the sign of Taurus. So Mars and Uranus coming together is a pretty explosive energy as well. And then once we get past that, then things start to calm down astrologically, I think. So, I mean, we do have a Saturn-Uranus square that's going to be kind of with us the whole year. But, you know, other aspects are not so horrible, I don't think. So, so we'll see. I'm hoping that by the end of this month that things will kind of calm down. I think there's some kind of Neptune aspects as well, and Neptune is like the higher self, and it's higher octave. It's like the higher self and connection to the divine and things like that. So, you know, that can increase your psychic powers and that type of thing. So that could be good. It could be kind of a calming thing. Neptune can also, though, be kind of deceptive. Like, it can what's the word I'm looking for? It can kind of cloud the truth sometimes. So you gotta watch out for that. Like sometimes a lot of misinformation is spread during Neptune aspects, but we're gonna go with the higher aspects of it and hope for the best. So, all right. So here's the foundations. Okay. This is, well, it's really hard to see in this light. Okay, so this is guardians, and this is and guides, and this is not like typically, this is typically like spirit guides and that type of thing, like in a higher world, you know. But I also, I don't know, for some reason when I get this, I see it's almost like a protective thing. So I'm almost like seeing kind of the guards at the Capitol, you know, and the National Guard and everything. It's almost like there's a protective element about that. So so yeah, that's you know, keeping us safe basically. But here's our, like, I don't like this lighting, so I'm gonna see about adjusting because it's very bright. I have the phone very close to the light, so let's see if we can get that. Okay, let's try that. All right. I'm not gonna redo this, so sorry for the little mishaps here, guys. I don't have the greatest editing software either, so what you see is what you get. So I'm not getting paid for this. All right, this is quakes. This is like minor irritations. It's like disruptions. It's really supposed to be like representing earthquakes. So usually when there's an earthquake, usually it's a minor earthquake and it kind of shakes things around and things fall off the shelves and it's scary and you don't know what's going to happen. But there's my dog. But it's not horrible, you know, like it's not completely destructive. It doesn't knock your, it's not like the Tower card where it's going to knock down your entire world. So, so that's kind of how I saw the whole thing played out that Wednesday, you know, where, yeah, a whole bunch of people stormed in and people did die. I mean, that's, I'm not trying to downplay that, but it could have been a lot worse. I kept thinking, well, where are all these guns, you know? Like, they could have taken out guns and, like, shot a bunch of people, and that didn't happen. So I think we're kind of lucky that it was just, it was more minor than it could have been, I guess is what I'm trying to say. And then this is the sun. So, better things, you know, are happening, you know. I don't know. This is almost like the tide is starting to change, and I don't know. That's a bright card. So even though some terrible things have happened, like this past week has been pretty calm, and there's just been a lot of discussion. So I don't know. It's like people are starting to almost come together or something, you know. So that's good. Let's look at obstacles. This is like helping hands. Okay, so I don't know if that means that we don't have enough people to properly protect everything that we need to protect right now. It's almost like we're shorthanded, you know, because it's in the obstacles. So I don't know. This is passion. People are feeling very passionate, very emotional, very what am I trying to say? What's the word I'm trying to say? They're feeling very right in their positions. So they're kind of dug in and they feel very passionate. I watched some interviews with people who did storm the Capitol, and you know, there were people on the ground who were just going around interviewing people and just kind of going incognito and pretending to be part of the crowd, and people felt that they were 100% right and just like barging in there and changing the votes because they felt like that was the right thing to do, and that, you know, they were 100% justified in doing that. And even that they were constitutionally justified in doing that, which, I don't know, is just so far off the mark. It's like, there is no constitutional right to like overturn an election when you're counting the electoral votes. I mean, I don't know how to explain this to people. I used to be an attorney, so, you know, I've taken constitutional law. That's just not allowed in our Constitution. Like, it's over at that point. You know, once the electoral votes are certified, it's over at that point. So, but tempers are flaring because people feel like they're 100%, they know they're right, and they're doing the patriotic thing. Okay, now you would think that this would be people being locked up for what they did that week, but that's restrictions. Well, yeah, that could be people being locked up, but it's in the obstacles. So I'm not sure why it's in the obstacles, except maybe we can't quite get a hold of everybody that we need to stop further events like this from occurring. So it could also be that maybe the military is bound by, you know, certain restrictions, you know, that are put on them to keep them from harming anybody, which is, you know, we don't want military in our own country attacking our own people. But the National Guard is needed sometimes in these situations. So they're kind of bound by what they can do, you know, to U.S. citizens. So I think that's what that's representing. Okay, so let's look at actions. The time to act is now. Like, we've got to take action right now to stop anything worse from happening. We've got to hold our own anger in check. Like, anybody who's watching this play out, you can't have BLM or Antifa showing up at these rallies and fighting off the so-called patriots, you know, that are storming capitals, because then that just allows them to kind of turn around and point to, oh, look at, you're doing it too, and, you know, and then all of a sudden Trump's like saying there's martial law, you know, and we can't transfer power because of martial law or something. So everybody's got to keep their anger in check, and also just keep your anger in check, because you don't want to like, it's hard to see. You don't want to rock the boat right now. Like, you want smooth sailing. Everybody who's not involved in illegal activities, storming capitals and things like that, you don't want to rock that boat. You want to keep everything as calm and as level as you can, because otherwise it just creates even more of this resistance. So I know there's a lot of people angry right now about what happened. We got to keep our anger in check. I'm not so much angry anymore. I was a little bit at first, but, you know, everybody's people. We're all people. We're all just trying to figure this out together. And people feel like they were mistreated, and right or wrong, I hate to say this, but you got to try and understand people's sides and why they feel that way. And, you know, even if someone's completely 100% wrong, okay, let's say someone's completely 100% wrong, you know, they went in and they were going to kill somebody, like they were going to kill Pence or something, you know. If you react with anger and, you know, let's lynch them or whatever, you know, with that kind of mentality, then that kind of digs in people who identify with that person. But if you go in with an attitude of, okay, this person you know, they're feeling very emotional, and maybe they have mental health issues. Who knows? Maybe they were lied to by somebody, you know? Whatever the reason is, if you go in and you kind of like have a loving attitude towards people who want to harm you, then there's nothing for them to fight against. They lose that momentum, and they feel like everybody's not out to get them anymore. You know, they start to see like, okay, I'm fighting, but people aren't fighting back. Maybe I was wrong about, you know, the liberals are all hate us and they're out to get us or whatever, you know, whatever it is that they believe. Maybe that changes their perspective a little bit and they start to see things in a different light. So let's keep everything as smooth as possible, keep our emotions in check. And yeah, no lynch mobs, please. All right, hidden aspects. The sun, or not the sun. The reason I say the sun is because that's the glyph, that's the symbol for the sun. So, it's actually like the still point, which really is kind of symbolic of the sun, because a still point is like a point. I was just listening to a talk today about glyphs, astrological glyphs. So the sun represents like God, basically, and the still point is like a point within God, which if you can go within, you can get in touch with that point within you that is your divine self. Okay, so this is what this represents. It's like your divine self right here. I think this is good that this is in hidden aspects, because we're not seeing this right now, but I think there's a lot of people out there who are just kind of collecting themselves, taking deep breaths, and staying calm despite their fears. There's a lot of this is monster, so this is like the monster under the bed. It's not real. These fears are not real. If you think about it, like, are you actually right now in personal danger? Sitting right where you are right now, are you in personal danger? Is someone coming and attacking your home? This is what I said about the riots too, when BLM, you know, some people were rioting over the summer, is that nobody's actually attacking your house. You know, no one went into private neighborhoods and like set houses on fire or dragged people out of their homes. That's not happening right now either. If you're at the Capitol, you might be in danger, you know, or a state capital. But if you're the average person, you're feeling a lot of fear, but it's overblown. So you might not realize that. You might think it's bigger than it is. That's what that's about. And then this is interesting. This is joy. This is in hidden aspects. So we're not fully feeling the joy right now, but I think that when the inauguration hits, people are going to suddenly wake up and realize, oh my gosh, it's over. Like Trump has no more control over the military anymore, so we don't have to worry about like a hostile takeover of our country or something like that. Like, that was my biggest fear, I think, is that he controls the military, and so, you know, he could just order the military to take over or something, you know, and whether they obeyed him or not, who knows. But that fear is gone, you know. And once the inauguration happens, and it's funny because, you know, usually when I do these readings, it's picking up on the general energies, and so you would think that, well, only the Biden supporters are going to feel joy, right? Only the people who voted for Biden. But I think there's some Republicans also who are kind of just, if not happy, like just relieved that this phase is over, because they're having to choose between extremists that support Trump, and then they're, you know, which is like a lot of times their base, or they're having to choose between what they feel is right, the right thing to do, which is like certifying the election, you know, because that's what they're constitutionally bound to do. So I think there's people on the right who are happy about this too. You know, I'm trying to not to be political, okay, because I don't want to alienate one side over the other, but I just want to point out that I saw and who knows if this is accurate or not, but I saw a poll just today that showed that Biden has 60% support right now. Like, he's got an approval rating of 60%. That's pretty high. That's pretty high for someone who only got 50% of the vote, you know, a little over 50%. So, yeah, I think things are changing. I think it's going to be for the good. I think there's still a lot of people afraid, but the majority is joy, or just like even relief or celebration. So yeah, even though we didn't think we were going to celebrate because everything is in lockdown in Washington, D.C. right now, I think we're still going to be dancing about it, you know. Okay, so here's outcomes. This is the big key right here. This is outcomes. This is the Buddha. Yeah, I think we are all gonna stay calm. I think we're gonna make it through that day. I think we're gonna we're all gonna be able to like kind of get in touch with our inner selves and realize that, hey, we're okay, we're safe, everything's good. Okay. Ropes. This is usually like, it's a lot like chains. Like, you feel like you're bound, but this is more like being restricted by your own limitations and your own mind. So see how it's not really forming knots. The rope is not really forming knots. They're loose, you know? They're not really binding you, but you feel like they're binding you. So, yeah, I think we're undoing some knots of our own making and our own mental psyches. We're gonna release that. And then award. We're gonna award the presidency to Biden and Harris that day. So it's going to go through, guys. I think it's going to go through, and I don't think it's going to be as bad as like some of us anticipated. So that's good. I'm really happy with that. We'll see what happens. See what happens in real life. It'll be interesting to see how accurate this is. There might be some emotional reactions that day, you know. I mean, I just don't think that they're going to be successful. Like, I don't think anybody's going to take anyone hostage or shoot anybody or anything like that. Like, there's going to be a lot of talk and a lot of rhetoric and stuff like that, but I think it's going to be okay. I think we're all going to be better off after this week. So that's good. That's a good thing. I hope so. All right. Take care, guys. I will come on again soon, hopefully, and do more readings for you. I have a TikTok channel now. I'll have to put that on my YouTube so that you guys can get to it. But it's basically under the same name. It's CJ Girl on Fire. So if you go and do a search, you'll probably find it. So take care, everyone. Have a good week and be safe.